I'm gonna put my dad cap on here. Your mom and I were really worried about you last night, okay? When you didn't text us back, we were scared. A little disappointed. But I'm gonna put my friend hat on. I get it, girl. You want to party. But dad hat on? It's not okay. Secret hat on. I have a drinking problem. Gossip hat. Sharon next door is having a baby. Secret hat. I know I'm the father, and I just don't know how to approach her about it. Mets hat? I really think they can do it this year. Self-conscious hat. Okay, well, enough of time travel hat. Extra, extra! Let's go to a game sometime. Also with the Kron. You're like the coolest girl in camp. I feel like this guy isn't ready to talk yet.
Good morning, sweet world, and welcome to the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network, a fine network. It's Thursday, November 17th, 2022. I'm J.E. Skeets here in the Classic Factory, and alongside me, as always, Tass Mellis.
Podcast listeners, this is for you.
Next to Tassie, it's the bearded one, my top shot hot boy, Trey Kirby.
Hey-o.
Hey-o. And last but not least, making the magic happen, two guys, one shot. We have the apprentice, Jerome, learning from the master, JD. What's up, guys?
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey. Welcome to the A, Jerome. All right. Shout out to the stream team joining us live right now on YouTube. We'd love to see it. Comment away, like the video, subscribe, share the show, get your No Dunks merch, like that brand new Classic Factory hoodie that our guy Tassie has on here. Go to nodunks.com. Oh, look at that. In front of the sign. It's like two neon signs. Love it. Nodunks.com for all. Oh, and there's the mug. Oh, you always struggle with this when you try and hold a mug to
there it is. Autofocus.
Yeah, I can't be a makeup tutorial person. You know how they show this stuff.
There you go. Send in your questions and comments to nodunks@theathletic.com. We're always looking for your goods. We got a fun Thursday morning podcast for you. Tons of games on last night. We'll touch on as many as possible. But first, we had another wedgie, and we had Bulls play-by-play man Adam Amin on the call. Give us a shout-out, baby.
Slip to Drummond. Nice pass to Jones. In traffic. We got a wedgie.
I'll tell you what, that was, again, nice passing. In close.
Yes.
You see, nice drop off from Drummond right there. Woo. Derek Jones almost got it.
Yep. Shout out to the our friends at No Dunks. Great podcast. My buddy Trey on Twitter. They'll appreciate that wedgie.
Absolutely appreciated the wedgie. I think we appreciated the shout out even more.
I appreciated that shout out more than you can ever imagine, Skeets. We played pickup ball last night. It was ugly. I was down, and then I got in the car, and I saw the clip of a young boy from the Chicagoland area getting a shout-out on a Chicago Bulls broadcast after a wedgie, and my spirits were instantly lifted.
Oh, that's good.
A highlight of the night, and probably the highlight of this Bulls game, if I'm being quite honest. But yeah, very happy to see, very happy to hear. It's my all-time favorite wedgie now.
Who gets the wedgie credit there? I was a little conflicted. Is it Valanciunas? Is it Daniels? Is it both of them? I mean, Derek Jones Jr. shoots it, but we give it to the defense on the block.
I don't know.
I think it's Daniels.
You're the one who's dedicated to giving it to somebody. I don't particularly care.
Someone's got to be, man. I think we're got to give that one to Daniels. I think he gets the most of it to wedge it in there. But, yes, thank you to Adam for the love there. Love to hear No Dunks on a broadcast for sure.
I love it.
And then buddy. You're his buddy.
Twitter
That's
buddy.
cool. Yeah.
It's got to be in person buddy at some point.
Yeah, we got to lock down the buddy ship, I think, over the holiday season here. I'm going to try and go to a Bulls game, slide in Adam's DMs.
Yeah.
Probably talk about Addison Trail High School. I think that's where he graduated from. Also where my good friend Adam graduated from.
Wow.
Different friend, different buddy. Both named Adam, both went to AT.
Hey, can you comp me some of that Kenny Beecham Bulls gear?
Some Beecham gear?
Yeah.
I'll get you some Beecham
I would
gear.
love some of that. Okay, thank you.
Ask Adam Amin why he has 0 tweets. I'm very confused.
Yeah.
He's your friend on Twitter. He said, my friend Trey on Twitter. But he doesn't tweet.
No, he's just a
He's
follower.
a play-by-play man who doesn't tweet ever. So I initially posted the clip, tagged Adam Amin, but then I thought, I can't be him. He's got 44 tweets, but I guess they're private. You just can't see him.
His bio is Drifter, is it not?
Yeah, so that also was like, that doesn't seem like a play-by-play man's bio, but I like it. I like it. He knows Trey's his friend. He also knows Dave, Lil Dicky. He likes saying that Yusuf Nurkic looks like Lil Dicky. He's made our Say What episodes before. He's a great play-by-play man.
All right, we have a ton of games to address. I came up with a new segment to tackle some of these. We don't have a slick intro for it or really even a great name. We're calling it on a scale of 1 to 10, okay?
How do you play this one, huh?
Yeah, 1 will be low, 10 will be high. Let's make that very clear.
The traditional way.
Yes,
okay.
yes. And we got to start with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander hitting a three-pointer with 1.1 seconds remaining, matching a career-high 42 points as the Oklahoma City Thunder. They steal a win on the road here, defeating the Wizards 121-120. SGA scoring 30 in the second half, making 9 of his 10 field goals. This guy is on one right now. It's unbelievable to watch. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, play along in the stream team, how confident are you SGA makes the 2022-23 NBA All-Star Game?
I got 8 in my notes. I got a nice 8 in my notes.
Eight's nice.
Thinking the only concerns at this point are a poorly timed injury or somehow a mysterious 15-game losing streak.
Right.
Like, the Thunder right now seem to be in stage 2 of the rebuild. They're not trying to lose every single game this year. They're not in it for the draft picks, it doesn't feel like. And Shai is a top 5 MVP guy right now, I would have to say. He's averaging 30 a game and taking like less than 3-pointers. Only Michael Jordan has done that. So it's kind of actually hilarious that he hit a game-winning 3 here. Had a nice night shooting the ball from 3 as well, but not usually what he does. He's always a driver. But as I was driving over, Skeets, I think it's a 10. I think he is a absolute lock for the Hall of Fame right now.
The Hall of Fame?
The Hall of Fame? Canadian basketball Hall of Fame.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's the coolest Canadian player of all time, but I think you can lock him into the All-Star game because he'll make it at least as an injury reserve at this point. I think that it's hard to make it as a guard in the Western Conference, but what he's doing on, honestly, both sides of the ball is incredible. So unless he's done after today, unless for whatever reason the Thunder shut him down after today, he's going to make the All-Star game. But I don't think the Thunder are shutting him down. This is a different era of the Thunder compared to the last 2 seasons.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
What number are you throwing on it?
I would throw a 7 on it.
Oh,
I don't think it's a lock.
low.
No, it's not a lock. It's the toughest position of all the positions in the All-Star game to make it. He's got 5 locks ahead of him as guards. And so I think Curry, Morant, Luka, Booker, and Damian Lillard are locks ahead of him. Ooh. They've got the seniority ahead of him. They've got the wins ahead of him. He's still on a sub-500 team. So he will make it if you count the injury reserves and all that, but I don't look at picking the All-Star guys as injury reserves.
Oh, because who knows, too? I mean, there usually are a couple.
So listen, there's 12 guys on the roster. I think 5 guards, again, are ahead of him, no doubt. So he would make it as the 6th guard. And it bodes well because there's a lot of Western Conference question marks, and when it gets to injury reserves, you pick from either position. It doesn't really matter. But again, the seniority of those 5 guys I mentioned are getting in there ahead of him because they've all been all-stars before, because they're all superstars, and it's just the toughest spot. It's tougher than the forward spot in the West or the guard in the forward spot in the East, but at this point, we're riding high. The dude is taking game winners where he makes it tougher on himself. I mean, he shook his defender, had space to fire it. He said, nah, I want to get even a little closer, get that defender even a little closer. The guy is just feeling out of this world right now. The 2-point percentage is ridiculous, near 60%.
He is going around every single guy.
I mean, that is nuts. 6 out of 10. It's basically, my scale, my rating of him making the All-Star game. 6 out of 10 is the shots that he makes in the 2-point line as well. Like, that is nuts. It is bonkers. So, they're slightly sub-500 team. I think that hurts a guy who's never made it before as well. So, I'm trying to be real here. I'm trying not to ride the Canadian bandwagon quite yet. But, what do you lock him in
Well, the reason why I
as?
say you're too low is, okay, first off, the numbers are insane. He's averaging 32.3 points per game, and his shooting splits are 55 from the floor, 40 from 3 despite not taking a ton, and 90 from the line. So he is doing a 50-40-90 right now through the first whatever we're at, 14, 15 games. The only person to do that and average 30 points per game while putting up those shooting splits is Curry, who's done it twice. Once in his MVP season, 15-16, and then again this season. That's how good Curry's still been, and we'll get to the Warriors in a second. So the numbers are crazy. But how many players are playing better than Shai right now in the league? 7? Maybe you can get to. I think there's 4 that you're like Luka, Giannis, Jokic when he's out there, Tatum, and Curry. 5. I think Shai is then right there in like that second group of your Embiids, your Ja Morants, your Durant's. He's comfortably there with what he's doing, with about a 500 record on the Thunder team.
Yeah, he's making
a 10, a lock. I said it on Monday that he was a lock for the All-Star game. I think realistically 9 feels right because Booker, yes, Lillard, yes, but he's squarely right there with them. In terms of what he's done there with them.
But if he's right there with them, those guys are making it ahead of him. Just being
because
real.
of records too, like the Suns and Blazers have,
and because of seniority, because you've made the All-Star game before, and you're playing in the toughest spot. Listen, it's mid-November. Let's get high on him. Let's ride it. Nobody cares about our All-Star predictions now. he would be an All-Star now, but the numbers are going to come down a little bit. Let's be honest. That's just the way it's going to be. He feels so damn good, and he's so comfortable. Trey said he's the coolest Canadian. Even after he got splashed with water yesterday in the post-game interview, and everybody calling Shai him. Look how cool he looks if you're watching us on YouTube. Look how comfortable he is. I know I'm about to get splashed. I feel good. I just hit a freaking game winner. I'm scoring 40+. The guy is feeling
same energy to that photo for sure.
Yes, the burning building behind. Yes, the exact same energy. Shai feeling it like nobody has ever felt it before. No other Canadian has felt as good in the NBA as Shai does right now. Steve Nash was a different score.
Jamal Murray in the bubble?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm searching.
No,
Jamal Murray in the bubble.
Wiggins winning a title and making the All-Star game?
Not MVP talk.
Cool,
I know.
This is MVP talk. And he is in the MVP conversation right now. There's no doubt.
Okay.
That's wild.
He called himself Himmy Carter.
Yeah.
What?
In Washington.
He's like, I'm in D.C. Might as well be Himmy Carter. Who told him that? Who told him Himmy Carter? There's no way Shai Gilgeous-Alexander knows a United States president from the 1980s.
Isn't Himmy / Jimmy Carter from here in Georgia?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
The oldest living president. I don't know. JD is a big Himmy Carter supporter. He's a Canadian.
JD was alive when Himmy Carter was the president. That's a little
true.
different.
That is true.
Unbelievable start to the season.
Himmy Carter? Are you kidding me?
You gotta have a him nickname if you hit a game winner. You have to.
Yeah.
And he has a hard name to fit him into. So I love to see him change it up. Great stuff.
Himmy Carter.
All right. Let's hear what number you're putting on the scale there. 1 to 10, 10 being the highest of SGA's All-Star chances. All right, next one here. Warriors star guard Steph Curry. He finished last night's game with 50 points in a losing effort to the Suns. His 50-point outburst marked the third time scoring 40 or more in the past 5 games. He's on a run, but the loss was Golden State's 9th of the season, and they are still winless on the road. 0-8 now, which is a little mind-boggling here, the defending champs. So, Tass, you get us started on this one. Scale of 1 to 10, how worried are you about the Warriors' slow start?
I'm going to 3. I'm surprised I'm saying that it's this low, but the Western Conference teams ahead of them aren't really running away with anything. I know the Trailblazers are playing well in the Suns and Nuggets. So I think they could turn something around pretty quickly, and I just think that this team, obviously, they know how to win and all that. And Donte DiVincenzo, a new Golden State Warrior, has come in and said, I remember playing against this team and how unflappable they were. And now they're just flappable, but I think they can.
Flappable.
I think they can stiffen that flap pretty quickly. How can they do that? Well, it's the bench is the problem, and the defense is the problem. So which comes first? I think the bench has had issues just integrating the young guys first, and now they've said, okay, we're going oldie, but also the oldie guys like Donte DiVincenzo injured for 8 games. JaMychal Green hasn't found his way. He's missing bunnies all over the place. They're playing Anthony Lamb. So they also miss Otto Porter Jr. and Gary Payton II and Nemanja Bjelica off the bench. The first time they didn't pay guys to come back in the history of this, the decade of this team. So I think it's just sort of getting used to getting it together on the bench, because the starters are fine. They're kicking ass, as Trey mentioned, one of the best plus-minus differentials in the league, but their bench is the second worst in the league. And I think the flap comes from that. It's not just that they're losing by 6.5 points every time the bench comes in, but then the starters come back and are a little deflated. Everybody's deflated, and everybody stops playing D the way they used to. So I think the bench, once the rotations get rectified, the injuries come back, I just think that starts to help out a little bit. there's nothing you can put your finger on really other than the bench stinking, the defense stinking. But I think Wiggins plays better when the team starts playing better in a weird way, and everything starts to fall into place. And again, I know they've stunk it up on the road, but they're still 6-1 at home, and they're not that far away, as Draymond Green has mentioned. They're not that far away from the top, so only 4.5 back. So I think they can figure it out.
The concern is Curry's putting up, 40-point games, 50-point games, and they're coming in losses here, at least last night's against the Suns.
Yeah.
Are you a little more concerned?
You can look at that as a positive, though.
How so?
You can say the guy is still destroying it and kicking ass and being the leader of our team, and eventually they got to follow. They got to start playing like they did last year, I think.
But this is very comparable to the Nets, is it not? I mean, like what Durant and the type of numbers he puts up, but there's no defense to pair with it, which is weird for this Warriors team. A lot of people are comparing this Warriors team to 2 seasons ago when Curry was pretty damn elite and trying to drag that team that had fallen off a cliff because of injuries and stuff like that defensively.
But you're going Edmund Sumner, Royce O'Neal, or the supporting
full
cast?
Government names? How dare you, Kevin Durant?
I know.
I just don't. We keep saying, well, the defense will turn around, but Kurz keeps saying, like, we have no collective grit, I think was his word last night after the game. Mm-hmm. We got, there's no defensive backbone to this team. That's usually Draymond. That's his thing. And then, the bench guys come in and contribute. But they're missing Otto Porter Jr., and they're missing Gary Payton II, and these guys aren't on the team.
Yeah,
so
but the other guys have been injured who's come in. Like DiVincenzo and the young guys haven't played well. I think the rotations haven't been solidified quite yet. That'll change.
Okay. He had it at a 3. Where do you go, TK?
I'm at a 6.
Okay, a little higher.
The lowest possible level of concern while still having a serious level of concern because Curry scored 50. They hit 18 threes. They didn't miss a free throw, and this was not even a close game. The defense, I don't see how it gets better unless you're just going to start playing the starters massive minutes because you need Draymond and Looney on the floor to have a decent defense with this team because Looney's the only guy who really rebounds at this point, and Draymond is your main defender, but you're also trying to manage those guys for the playoffs, assuming they get there, and you're right, they're only 4.5 games out, but they should be wanting to have home court advantage at this point. You don't want to go through a road series every single time, not to mention you don't want to end up in the play-in tournament. I'm not super concerned, though, because I do think the starters are really good. I assume Poole will find his rhythm as time gets better. And they do have moves to make. Like, I think at this point, you could trade Kuminga. You could trade Moody. Certainly Wiseman, if anybody is actually interested in him. They have moves to make to get better. And I think you see how well Steph is playing. Like, Bob Myers is going to have to be thinking about pulling the plug on the 2 timelines sort of thing because they have a chance to win another ring with how well Steph is playing. So that's why I'm not at a 10 because Steph is Steph and he can carry this team to wins, but they got to figure out how to play defense and they got to figure out how to play a little tougher. Like finals. I mean, they don't have to get finals level intensity, but they ought to be playing home stretch intensity if they want to keep pace here in the West.
Yeah, Kerr also compared the game last night or the way they've been playing defensively to Drew League games. He's like, we're just playing a Drew League game right now. We're just trying to go out there and outscore the other team, but no one's actually really playing all that hard defensively, at least his squad. The Warriors are 7th worst team in the league when it comes to defensive rebounding rate. They also allow the 9th most second chance points. This is killing them. You even saw it last night. Suns with 8 offensive rebounds, turned them into 16 second chance points. Golden State of Mind, great Warriors blog, had a perfect clip up that was a perfect example of them struggling to end possessions defensively. DiVincenzo, it was early in the 4th quarter. It was still a game, especially in today's NBA. They were down 9 or something like that. He plays 8 seconds of brilliant individual defense, like out on the perimeter, moving around, moving his feet. They take a jumper. They miss the Suns do, only for the rest of their teammates, the rest of his teammates, I should say, just standing around and giving up an offensive rebound in that case. It ends in another possession and ends in a Booker jumper. And it was like the perfect example of them not, even when they played good defense, they can't get the rebound, and that's killing them. Yeah. A little love to the Suns last night, though, too. Cameron Payne is, getting the opportunity with Chris Paul out. He had a monster game. Mikal Bridges was great. This is a good Suns team. Yeah. So, there's no shame in losing to them, but the Warriors' defense is just non-existent.
Yeah, and they pulled away in the 3rd quarter there. I guess, again, the Warriors bench just really has to find their identity. They just don't know who they are. You can kind of squint and see old Warriors benches in the past who have found guys like Damian Lee, Juan Toscano-Anderson. When you look at Anthony Lamb, an undrafted guy who looked good last night. He's got the touch. He plays the right way. I see him playing a lot of minutes, and the worrisome part if you're a young guy like Wiseman or Moody or Kuminga, that guy's probably taking your spot. DiVincenzo's going to play because he's the ball handler alongside Poole. And then I think JaMychal Green is going to play a ton. He was supposed to be the Otto Porter fill-in, but even after Otto Porter, Gary Payton, and Nemanja Bjelica, the guys who left, they lost Juan Toscano-Anderson and Damian Lee. So they lost the depth. They lost their identity. So I think that's just taking a while. And JaMychal Green, I mean, if he starts hitting a couple bunnies, and then this team is good. They're way below. He's way below his 3-point percentage average. So they're not playing to even their regular NBA replacement level selves. I think they're just going to get a little bit better. And Draymond Green, I found this very, very funny. An article on The Athletic, Sam Amick talked to Draymond Green while he was carpooling with JaMychal Green from Sacramento back to San Francisco. So the two of them are riding in the front seat together. And Amick said, asked him something about the bench, and Draymond Green said, well, DiVincenzo's been out, and JaMychal Green, he's key. He's very key, as he's sitting right beside him. Of course he's going to say that. He's key to our NBA. But this dude is a guy that left Denver, and Jokic said, I would love to play with that guy for the rest of my life. He is going to be one of those guys, I think, 30 games from now that people say, oh, perfect warrior, hitting threes. He looks like a good bench player. So I think they have the parts, but they have been injured. And so that's part of it. And the young guys, obviously, which is, I don't know if they can mix it. I don't know if they can mix this 2-timeline thing.
The other part that's difficult to watch right now is Klay Thompson being mortal. He is bad right now. Scoring under 15 points per game, shooting 33% from 3, 35% from the floor. You can see that he's like, I'm Klay Thompson. I'll just shoot my way out of this. And probably right at some point, but he just forces shots. It gets to him. He's like, okay, this one will go in, surely, and it doesn't. And then he's lost a step, I think, defensively, too. And then that's the thing. Then Poole comes in, and you can't play those two guys together right now with the way Klay plays defensively, so they get washed there. And Draymond Green, I'm terribly disappointed sort of in his season so far. I don't know if the whole punch situation or what. He feels neutered to me. He's not he's doing these interviews and stuff, but I don't know. Where's the fire in this guy? I mean, maybe it's just it's 15 games in, chill out. You'd think at some point he'll have a lot more to say, or at least trying to get them. I guess the pushback is, the starters are fine. It's not him. That's somewhat true, but I don't
think the starters were particularly good last night.
No. Not
but
at the end.
Steph Curry shouldn't be the second leading rebounder on this team.
Yeah.
Looney's at 6.9, Curry's at 6.6. ahead of Draymond Green.
And Wiggins.
That's cool. I mean, it's awesome that Curry hits the glass. That's an underrated part of his game. But the big guys should be rebounding.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else?
I got a couple other notes. Suns turquoise jerseys. They look awesome on the court.
Like them?
I also like the way they interplay with a black lane with a little bit of turquoise around it. The only problem for me, I don't like logo over number. I just think that looks a little awkward on a jersey. And the other cool thing that happened in this game was when Mikal Bridges hit a 3-pointer from the corner and then basically put his hand right in front of Klay Thompson's face. People are going at Klay trash talk-wise right now, probably because he's been talking trash for 10 years, and finally he's looking mortal.
Yeah, for sure.
The Booker Klay thing is very real, and I think it trickles down to the other Suns. They love it.
Yeah, the Suns can handle the Warriors.
Yeah,
in the regular season.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, this was a big game for the Suns too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Next one here: the Cleveland Cavaliers dropped their 5th straight game on Wednesday, 113-98. It was a road loss to the very shorthanded Bucks. The losing skid here follows an 8-game win streak for the Cavs. They started 8-1, if you remember, and they looked like East contenders. However, following the game, Cavs coach JB Bickerstaff, he sounded off on his frustrations with his team's attitude. Here's a quote: "We got kind of a fat cat mentality. We went out and won 8 games in a row. Everybody was giving us love and praising us, and we got really comfortable. We are the team that won those 8 games. We are a really good basketball team. This is about maturation." I can't say that word. Maturation? No.
Yep.
That sounds wrong when I say it. Maturation. Wow. And growth from a team as a whole. Again, that's Cavs coach JB Bickerstaff. Scale of 1 to 10. Trey, how great is Bickerstaff's fat cat mentality quote?
10. I love any reference to fat cats, but it's usually those lobbyists in Washington that we're hearing about. You don't hear about it in basketball, but I do think that JB's right. The defense looked very discombobulated. They were just running around, pointing fingers. They could get nothing going at the rim. And to me, it just kind of pointed out, Jarrett Allen, kind of the linchpin of everything for the Cavs. He puts pressure on the rim almost all the time. He's there to defend the rim all the time. My guess is that as the backline guy, he's calling out a lot of the coverages. And if he's not there, he's missed this game, he missed the previous game. They just looked like they were out of sorts for the entirety of the evening. And it was just a lot of, wait, you were supposed to be there. No, you were supposed to be there. Kevin Love pointing out basically where everybody was supposed to be after they were taking the ball out of the basket. But also, this is just an awesome win for the Bucks. Being so short-handed against a pretty healthy Cavs team. Brook Lopez, he made a ton of threes. Almost all of them were open, and the ones that weren't open, he was shooting over a tiny guy. It was like Lamar Stevens ended up on him so many times. So, I don't know. I think Bernie, JB's right here. They've gotten a little fat cattish, but they're not a team that wins 8 straight. They're not going to, they're not the best team in the league. They're also not a 5 straight losses team. They're somewhere in the middle. They just happen to go streak to streak. It's weird.
Yeah, there's a lot of things going on with him. The Jarrett Allen thing, monstrous. He's got a bum ankle. I think he probably sits out Friday against Charlotte, but they win against Charlotte because you don't need him against the Charlotte Hornets. And the wins come back and the flow comes back a little bit because right now they're in the spot that everyone thought they would be in, which is behind the Bucks and the Celtics in the Eastern Conference and fighting for the 3rd seed. But yeah, it has come in a very odd way, starting 8-1, losing Darius Garland for a big chunk of it, and now integrating the Donovan Mitchell after the fact, after Garland comes back. It has been a bit of a struggle, which is what you thought would have happened right at the beginning of the season, because I think that's an issue as well, just whose turn is it. They're 2-3. Really, when Garland and Mitchell play together, they played like 5.5 games before Garland got out, so I'm not too worried. They did play against a Bucks team that you desperately want Jarrett Allen up against Brook Lopez, even though he was stepping out, hitting 7 of 10 threes, looking like a monster. He changed his shot in the offseason, which is pretty cool. There's an article on The Athletic about that. He listened to just this technological device. Have you read the article? It's just like he's in a gym for a week, and he's shooting, and he hears – you can set it to different things. You can set the device to different things. It can tell you the arc of your shot. So it'll say 45, as in 45 degrees, 46.
Oh, wow.
Like right away, right when you shoot it. That's pretty cool. Or the diameter of where it goes in the rim, like 8-inch left. Like where you're, so he just changed the shot because he's a geek and he was listening to it and he got into it and
it's working.
Yeah, I mean, the guy is.
It took him a week to learn a new shot, and he's shooting the ball better than he's ever shot.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I mean, really, when it comes,
players are pretty good. Huh?
Yeah, he's pretty good. But it was like he got immersed in it, and really, it was square your feet up, pull that elbow in.
No, the fundamentals.
The fundamentals.
Yeah.
Beef
is what he got down to. Beef. Forget about these dumb devices, these technological devices. Just shoot the ball, man. But it is cool that he's in his 30s and he's figuring it out. But yeah, I think the Cavs will figure out the Garland Mitchell thing as well. I think that's a big part of it. They're still one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference.
Okay, they definitely miss Allen. 100% with you on that. Though he was there for some of these games in the losing streak, and over the 5 games, the Cavs have a league worse 122.0 defensive rating, so they are dead last in this rut that they're in, which is weird because you think of them as a pretty good defensive team. But yeah, I got to give the quote a 9, fat cat mentality. Fat Cavs mentality would have been a nice pun on the cats to me. So that would have put it up to a 10. But otherwise, I love seeing fat cat mentality. They got a little too big for their britches there after that hot start. But no one's all that concerned. All right. Final one here in our new game of 1 to 10. Finally, Jaylen Brown. He scored 22 points. He led a balanced attack as the East-leading Celtics stretched their winning streak to 8 straight with the 126-101 victory over the Hawks, Sad Kaka, last night. Celtics missing Marcus Smart, missing Malcolm Brogdon, obviously no Robert Williams III. Didn't matter. They handedly won this game over a decent Hawks team, and that's 8 straight. On a scale of 1 to 10, how impressive is this run here by Boston?
I'll go 10. Why not?
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's been very impressive. Marcus Smart wasn't in the game, but he made sure he tracked down Trae Young after the game to give him a big hug, give him a little love. But it was impressive how Derek White steps into the starting lineup. Peyton Pritchard again, number 3 point guard, steps in and was monstrous off the bench. The way they're switching, match up pretty damn well against the Atlanta Hawks. They're good at guarding perimeter players when they want to. I think their switching just took everything away from the Hawks. And yeah, they struggled offensively, just having bodies in front of them. And I think Trey struggled defensively, not so much on-ball defense, just watching and some good film breakdowns of watching Trey just not be able to track guys off the ball and allowing a lot of three-point shots that were way too open. And then you got like Grant Williams faking a dribble handoff, putting it down, step back three. These guys work on their games, and he's looking good. So it is disappointing for the Hawks' perspective, because this is a team that they're trying to overtake at some point. You know, this is the team that they're trying to beat, and they were shorthanded while the Hawks fairly healthy, and they really couldn't figure out the Celtics defense. So they've been winning with the offense, but the defense, I think, really showed out yesterday, and that's kind of where they've been lacking. We're thinking about this team as like an NBA's final team that's chilling on the defensive end, but they brought it yesterday against an up-and-coming team in the Hawks.
Where do you put this 8-game win streak on that scale for the Celtics? How impressive?
36,201.
Go on.
The depth of the Mariana Trench. Because the Celtics are the deepest team in the NBA. Luke Cornett went 7 for 7 and had 4 blocks in this game. Sam Hauser went 5 for 6.
Guy's on fire.
All from 3. Went for 15 points. And like you're saying, the Celtics were missing their top 2 point guards. No problem. We've got another 2 point guards in Derek White and Peyton Pritchard. Imagine if they actually decide to start playing defense. Oh, yeah, Robert Williams will be coming back eventually soon. Everybody on this roster who's going to get minutes can really, really play. Cornett was incredible last night, catching alley-oops.
He had a reverse dunk.
He got dunked on, but at least he was there to get dunked on. This was great from the Celtics, especially considering the Hawks have had some nice wins lately. They beat the Bucks, right?
Twice.
Yeah.
They beat the Bucks, and they beat the Sixers in one of those games as well. So you come in thinking maybe this will be a little bit of a measuring stick for the Hawks, and they just got beat down pretty bad.
Yeah, they're not close.
No, not even close.
I think last night sort of proves that it is the Celtics and Bucks as the clear 1-2 in the Eastern Conference, and then it's everybody chasing them in your Cavs and your Hawks and some of the other teams that we'll get to from last night. Yeah. Impressive streak here. The gap between the Celtics, number 1 offense in the league, and then the second team, which I believe is the Kings, is larger than the gap between the Kings at second and the team with the 11th best offense. They are hammering teams offensively, and Trey is right. My God, they lock in a little bit more like they did last night against Atlanta on the defensive end, you're going to have a lot of 20-point blowouts. A lot of them, because they are clicking. And, Tatum obviously at the MVP table, and Jaylen Brown he's like gone under the radar, I think, this year too, with how well he's played as a two-way force.
Yeah, we're talking about their third stringers. It's the Mariana Trench, as Trey said. It's wild to see 44 points from Hauser, Cornett, and Peyton Pritchard. Those guys that's deep, and people made fun of them. For Luke Cornett's your backup center? How are you gonna overcome Robert Williams being injured? No probs. Noah Vonleh was playing once, not anymore. They are ridiculously deep.
Good winning streak here from the Boston Celtics. We're going to take our first break. When we come back, we'll touch on some of the other games from last night. Don't go anywhere.
It's holiday time, guys. This year, Peloton is giving you their best offer of the season. Get up to $300 off accessories when you purchase a Peloton bike, Bike Plus, or Tread. $300. I think that just broke the Factor record for best discount. I mean, you can get a lot of stuff for $300.
This is like wedgies after wedgies,
right?
after breaking records.
It's raining discounts over there. Shop from a variety of accessories such as cycling shoes, a heart rate monitor, and more. If you've been waiting to sign up to join Peloton, this offer provides you with everything you need to get started. You're more likely to stick with the fitness routine if it's something you enjoy, which is why Peloton instructors make every workout feel like hanging out with your friends. Speaking of music, iconic. That's all it says here. Exclamation point. Iconic. But I know it's classic rock, R&B, hip-hop. Hell, they've got Broadway and a country workout I just took with the Cadence King. Thought I'd hate it. Loved it.
Oh, yeah?
Hey.
Yeah. I'm a country guy now.
I feel like everybody's turning into a
like,
I think Yellowstone returned last night, too.
Oh, maybe that's what it is. Yeah. It's just in the air. Whatever your tastes, you'll find the perfect soundtrack for your workout on a Peloton bike or tread. And whether you have 10 minutes to spare for a strength class or 30 minutes for a running or cycling class, There's a workout for you. Don't miss out on Peloton's best offer of the season. Visit onepeloton.com to learn more. All access membership separate. Offer starts November 14th and ends November 28th. Cannot be combined with any other offers. See additional terms at onepeloton.com.
Up until last week, I had never tried CBD products before because I was doubtful they did anything. I'm being honest with you here. You know, and like pumpkin spice, I felt like CBD products were everywhere. CBD drinks, CBD pet products, CBD lotions. Anyway, I was a skeptic, but your boy is slowly coming around to the benefits of CBD thanks to Next Evo Naturals. I'm really into this Next Evo Revive CBD complex. I've found it helpful in reducing muscle soreness after a long run or playing hoops at our local run here. And Nora and I have started taking it to help sleep at night too. You know, pop that capsule about 45 minutes before bed, and boom, Annie Lennox. Sweet dreams are made of this. It's not these. Isn't that crazy? It's not sweet dreams are made of these. No. It's sweet dreams are made of this. I know, I just blew your mind.
When you say it out loud, though, it makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Because made of these, not a sentence.
I know, but it's because, but who am I to disagree? And that's why it rhymes, so you think it's these, but it's definitely this.
Well, what if you're both holding a CBD product? Sweet dreams are made of these.
Yeah, you're right. The reason these Next Evo Naturals work so well has to do with the Smart Sorb technology, which is clinically proven to help your body absorb CBD 4 times better than regular CBD oil. And when you think about it, it makes sense because most CBD oil, which is found in gummies and capsules and stuff like that, it achieves between 2% and 10% absorption, which means more than 90% of what you think you're getting is actually wasted. Next Evo Naturals, though, scientifically formulated to deliver more CBD in a way your body can actually use it. And to help your body have a healthy inflammatory response, try the new Revive CBD Complex, which adds the benefits of curcumin with CBD, helps you feel restored. I'd like to say that. So you say, hey, how you doing? I'm feeling restored.
Feeling restored today.
Yeah, I'm going to start adding that.
That's a great term, though. Like, if you're feeling restored, you're feeling great.
Yeah, and I am.
I agree.
Because of these Next Evo Naturals. So don't settle for less. Get your supply of Next Evo Naturals Revive CBD Complex today, or shop their gummies, capsules, and mints, proven to absorb 4 times faster than standard CBD oil. Get up to 25% off when you subscribe and spend $40 or more at nextevo.com/recover and throw in the promo code NODUNKS. That's nextevo.com/recover, promo code No Dunks. Still here in the Classic Factory. You guys want to talk about some of the other games?
It was a great slate.
It was.
Nice slate.
Let's go to the Knicks-Nuggets game. The Knicks rallied, and they ended their skid against the Jokic-less Nuggets, 106-103. So no joker, but this was the Knicks' first win in Denver in 16 years.
What?
16 years they hadn't won in Denver. 06.
2006.
Isn't that nuts?
They have Andre Miller on the Nuggets back then?
Possibly.
Throwing alley-oops?
Wilson Chandler on the other side? What's going on?
16 years.
Yeah, I mean, look, it was rough for Denver in terms of who they had to play. Like, they had DeAndre Jordan and Jeff Green in the starting lineup. But, hey, the Knicks got the win. Julius Randle played really, really well in this. Probably his best game of the season so far.
Julius Randle diving on the floor with 2:30 left there. You don't see that a lot. Julius Randle saw a ball and beat the Denver Nugget to the floor, pushed it up to Jalen Brunson, and that kind of sealed it a little bit for the New York Knicks. But what really sealed it was Randle playing with Obi Toppin again in that fourth quarter. Tibbs going to the smaller lineup. He only does it when he's really desperate. But it worked a couple weeks ago when they came back against the Sixers, and it worked in this one. They were down. They were trailing by 10 when Randle and Toppin got together. 8 minutes left. They went on a 20-7 run, and that was big. It's big for Julius Randle to have that space out there with Obi Toppin, a three-point shooter, instead of Jericho Sims or Isaiah Hartenstein, who they play at center. And that helped out a lot just to get Julius Randle going. A nice night for him at 34-11, 4 assists and 4 steals. So, yes, against a shorthanded Nuggets team. Mm-hmm. But they went and beat the Jazz, and they went and beat the Denver Nuggets. That's
the two teams that hadn't lost at home in Utah and Denver. And now there are no unbeaten teams at home left in the league. because the Knicks just snapped those streaks.
Two tough teams to play. Two tough teams to go into their building and win, and that's why I guess the Knicks lost 16 straight to the Denver Nuggets.
I guess so. That altitude, man, it'll get you. What do you have anything from this game?
I thought Randall was awesome, and I do think a lot of it was because he was playing alongside Obi Toppin, which kind of encourages Randall to be in the lane, and he's just so much better when he can play bully ball and use his shoulders and get closer shots rather than having to do a whole bunch of shake and bake and shoot a crazy fall away. It looks awesome when it goes in, but it's more reliable to be living in the lane and getting the easy buckets. Also took 13 free throw attempts. That's the way Julius Randle needs to play, and that's why you got to see a little bit more Toppin out there. Mm-hmm. Just because it gives some space to Randle to be the guy getting the buckets in the lane. I assume that Hartenstein plays a lot because he's still a big guy. You know, Tibbs is going to want him out there for the defense, but clearly their best lineups are based around a Randle Toppin frontcourt.
And if you're keeping track, Tibbs stuck with that 9-man rotation. Mm-hmm. No Fournier once again. No Quentin Grimes once again. He was actually asked about Quentin Grimes' possibility of him going down to the G League. He said no. I think him being here with us is the best thing, so there is that.
Yeah, but I like him not playing. That's what he's saying.
yes. But we want him not playing here under my watch.
Yeah, which is weird.
But yeah, no, the minutes are going to Toppin. Sims is getting some off the bench. Derrick Rose good for, 15 to 20. And then quickly got a decent amount last night, nearly 30 minutes per game off the bench.
Yeah.
And this is the 9 right now. Tibbs has found something here. And this is all despite R.J. Barrett being garbage right now. Let's be honest. Hey, let's make the list for a future episode, maybe a YouTube short, for crying out loud. Most disappointing players in the league right now.
Write this down, Jerome.
R.J. Barrett has got to be at the top of the list. I'm talking about players coming in with some promise, maybe a young guy. You're like, oh, this might be a breakout year. Last night, 4 of 18, 0 for 9 from 3. That has been a very familiar line from this guy, unfortunately, this year. So I have R.J. Barrett there. Throw him out some other names in the stream team if you want. I mean, Anthony Edwards to some extent, but he had a really good game last night. Yeah.
It is unfortunate that R.J. Barrett said before the season, we're going to shock some people, and then he's having this start. But I think the fact that they're 8-7 has kind of killed a little bit of the ridicule for him.
Oh, yeah. If they had 3 or 4 wins, Knicks fans and everyone would be going crazy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But they're winning for the most part. Yeah. But it's not really because of him. He can't shoot. He can't score right now, which is his one main thing.
Well, everywhere on the floor, there's some good shot charts out there of every single spot on the floor. He's sub his regular percentages, even at the rim. Whereas I thought that's where he would be making his money, like he was the last few months of last season. But yeah, Tibbs in the Toppin thing. I hope that continues because it seems like it's a break glass in case of emergency. Toppin and Randle, and it just helps so much. But I don't know. Still TBD. Mitchell Robinson comes back, and then they stay big. So, anyway, let's make it short.
Some more disappointing players just came to mind. Would Scotty Barnes be on the list? I know he's a second-year player, but yeah. Jordan Poole.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yep. Tim Hardaway Jr. I know this guy coming off of injury, but he's been bad.
Okay.
Klay Thompson, similar. But, of course, played last year in the finals.
There's got to be a Wolf on there.
Yeah, I mean, I said Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns.
Oh, you said Edwards.
Maybe one of those two.
Yeah.
And Ben Simmons.
Hey, man, he just had his first double-digit game in over 500 days. He's on the upswing.
Well, R.J. Barrett's on the list. When we make the YouTube short, R.J. Barrett is going to be the thumbnail, okay? Calling it now. All right, next game here. Tyrese Halliburton and the Pacers beat the Hornets. That's another great win for Indiana. They are surprising me. I thought they'd be the worst team in the league, and they're above 500. But the story from this one is LaMelo Ball re-injuring his ankle, trying to sort of save a ball that was going out of bounds, and unfortunately tweaking that ankle again. I guess on a fan's foot. Did he step on the fan's foot?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what the report said.
Yeah.
And that's what it looked like. And unfortunately, he was playing really well in this game, too. 26 points, 6 assists, a couple of steals, and this happened really, really late in the game. And like when you go back and watch the highlights, it seems almost not surprising because he ended up in the stands so many times last night. There's one where he has like a great take to the hoop. He finishes with a lefty layup, and he goes 3 rows into the stands. Everything was fine. This was like almost nothing when he just happened to be on the side. The fan didn't have their feet out. They were sitting with their feet tucked up beneath their chair. He just happened to go over and land on a foot. So I don't know. He was limping, certainly, but It didn't look like a heavy limp to me, so maybe he won't be out for a long time, which would be fine for the Hornets. I mean,
they should shut him down for the season.
Yeah, maybe they will. Not that I think it really matters if he's the guy out there, but I don't know. Another good win for the Pacers. They're up to second in the league in offense right now. It's amazing.
That's wow.
Whoa,
Yeah,
what?
yeah. They play super duper fast, and Halliburton and Mathurin are the real deal.
That is phenomenal that they're second. I was looking when we were talking about the All-Star game last year. LaMelo Ball was an All-Star game.
Yeah.
And he's an All-Star. I know he's an injury replacement, but I know that we've been talking about teams that are in the Wembanyama sweepstakes going for the alien, and the Hornets is one that comes to mind immediately.
Oh, yeah. We pounded the under on our over-under podcast
Yeah.
when it came to the Hornets.
Bad vibes,
Yeah.
but LaMelo ain't sitting out. I don't think he's going to allow that unless they force him to. At this point, it's way too early, and it sucks because he was playing his best game of the season because he has been injured even before that. But, yeah, kudos to the Pacers.
Yeah.
Wild.
I mean, great game from Turner. This guy's actually having a decent season after obviously not being there at the start with
He
his own
also
ankle
stepped
injury.
on a foot.
Yeah, that's right. But 20 and 10 from him as he possibly still tries to build up his trade value if that is even happening. Hell, the Lakers should make the trade with the Pacers. They should just make the trade with the Hornets. The Hornets should take Westbrook. They should do it. They should trade.
Who do you want? From the Hornets
Terry
to the
Rozier,
Lakers?
Gordon Hayward, if you can talk yourself into it. You know, those type of guys. Kelly Oubre, maybe. They should be taking Westbrook and getting picks and tanking all the way to one of the top two if they get lucky, for sure. Because this season is, in my opinion, already a wash.
MJ would
prior to the injury here.
MJ would love Westbrook on his roster. I think he'd like it.
Sure.
They sell some seats
Think so?
for the season.
Yeah.
All right, make it happen. Come on,
Let
MJ.
let free Russ. Let Russ be Russ. Whatever they say out there.
Next game here. Good win from the Raptors. OG Anunoby, season high 32 points. Raptors beat the Heat 112-104. Massive third quarter run. 21-0 run. You don't see that too often for the Raps there. And then they held on in the end to beat the Heat. What do you think?
I think we've got great discipline waiting until this part of the show to talk about OG Anunoby and the Toronto Raptors. A 21-0 run. The Heat didn't have Bam Adebayo. That was, I think, a really big part of this. But everything going through OG Anunoby because, they don't have their lead guy in Pascal Siakam, a monstrous part of their offense. So, OG, a ridiculous game. It felt like he played every single minute out there. He played 43 minutes. And everything, just the offense was OG Anunoby.
That was the best game maybe he's ever played on the offensive end in terms of scoring.
Fair.
Yeah.
But that was a really weird 21-0 run. You don't see that in the NBA very
No.
It seems like the Heat had this one in control, and there's something funky about the Miami Heat this season. It's a little stanky. The way they don't have that grit and grind. No one has said the word Heat culture this season at all. And I know they're definitely banged up. Hero's been out for a while, but then you add Bam Adebayo, who is their sort of their culture and their defensive backbone, and the Raps were doing what they wanted. Yeah, OG. I can't get too high, but the best game probably, as a Raptor, it felt like it.
Offensively with a 32, and then he had a lot of the defensive assignment on Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler took 8 shots in this game.
Weird one.
I mean, a lot of that is OG. Some of it's Jimmy, and Kyle didn't have a lot of shot attempts either. Really, really good defense here from the Raps. Any thoughts on OG's special game and how he's played this year, or the Raptors, doing all right here despite missing their all-NBA guy?
I think it's good that OG is really seizing the opportunity to be kind of the lead scorer out there with Pascal Siakam gone, and he's done a really good job going 20s, high teens, and then obviously an awesome game last night. The Raptors need somebody to step up and be able to score and create in the half-court scenario. Pretty nice passing, I thought, from OG as well. Yesterday, I think he only ended up with 3 assists, but he had a nice one really late in the game that kind of sealed things. Finding, I think, Boucher for a cut on the baseline. It's been good, but the Heat offense can just get pretty stinky for a while. And we've talked a lot recently about Jimmy Butler being stupidly locked in and how he's carried this team to a couple of victories. If he's only taken 8 shots and you got no Bam, it's tough to figure out where the offense is going to come from if you're not knocking down threes at an incredible rate. They did for a chunk of this one, but also didn't for a chunk of this one. So, yeah, I mean, it just feels like the margin of error for the Heat is very, very slim. They're going to play defense. They're going to be competitive, but they got to shoot well to really put some points on the board, especially if Jimmy's having one of his snoozer games.
Yeah, and just to correct myself, Lowry did have 9 shot attempts, but still 17 combined for Butler and Lowry. Not a whole lot of shot attempts from those two guys. Toronto out-rebounded Miami 42-23, 16-4 edge on the offensive glass, and outscored the Heat 26-5 in second chance points. And that is how the Raptors want to play, and everybody was contributing, but OG, Nick Nurse, was like talking him up after the game. He wanted the ball, he controlled it, he made moves, he made pass-outs, all the stuff you have to do when you're the go-to guy. I don't think OG is an 82-game go-to guy, but you said it, TK, with the opportunity, he can do it every once in a while. I'll be shocked if he goes for 32-10 in his next game. It's just obviously difficult to do, and only the elite players can, but he's like a step down there, and maybe he's growing into it because he's getting more opportunity here, but good win.
And I like hearing the analysis from a non-Raptor supporter in Trey, because I'm hard on OG. I didn't think that even his numbers were what they were this season.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, yesterday was great, but it feels like riding the OG roller coaster that he's been worse. But from an outsider's perspective, it's nice to get a little balanced opinion, because he's been
offensively
solid.
at least.
I
mean, he might be
defensively,
defensive player of the year, and
yeah.
he's at least in the running.
The Raptors have 0 problems on the defensive end, but the question is always, will OG take the next leap to be an isolation type guy, to be able to break you down type guy? And it's a roller coaster. It is, especially as a Raptors fan. But the numbers are pretty solid, actually. It's
because like the jumper comes and goes. His handle is not all that great. Playmaking
doesn't have much wiggle.
No, he just drives. He's strong. Goes through guys, which is a skill. But the finesse is generally not part of his package.
Yeah, but even when he goes through guys, sometimes he can't stop himself.
No,
and he can't stop the body from going. But last night he was the offense.
Yeah. The other games, let me chuck all 3 of them at you, and you can touch on all of them or none of them, and we could just go to break. You tell me. Here we go. Edwards and Towns, monster games for the Wolves. They needed that. They crushed the Orlando Magic 126-108. We had CJ McCollum scoring 23. The Pelicans beat the Bulls pretty handily, 124-110. And then Porter and the Rockets beat the Mavs 101-92. But there was no Luka. But hey, look, the Rockets are going to take every win they can get. Is that only their 3rd or 4th win of the season? Beating the Luka-less Mavs. Well, you get a starter here. Any of those 3 tickle your fancy?
Well, straight up rest for Luka, I guess, right? No injury there.
No,
just
straight up rest.
Just chill.
He probably needs it.
Back-to-back. Yep.
He
and you see what they look like without him.
Yeah. I thought the most impressive win was the Pelicans. Unfortunately, they dominated.
They're playing pretty well right now.
Yeah.
They're on the second night of a back-to-back, and the Bulls have played like 1 game in a week. Billy Donovan's going to be on the hot seat pretty soon here. The starting lineup needs to change. Like, Ayo has made some strides. He's a good player, but he's probably not a starting point guard, and Patrick Williams does absolutely nothing out there. 0 motor from this guy. They're a team built around their offense, and they're 24th in offense. The Bulls are somehow better on defense right now. And, I don't know, man. It's just honestly a super disappointing performance from the Bulls. And they had a super disappointing performance on Sunday against the Nuggets. Same thing. They came in 3 days rest. The Nuggets had played a couple of days prior, and they just got ran off the floor. Same thing happened against the Pelicans. So something's going to need to change, because every Bulls game, they get into a huge hole. The bench brings them back. They get into a huge hole. The bench brings them back. So I'd like to see Dragic in the starting lineup. At least he can shoot, and I'd like to see Javonte Green because he moves out there. And I would love to see Billy Donovan come up with, any sort of an idea how to get a big guy a touch. He's turned Vucevic into Lauri Markkanen, basically. Markkanen did nothing for the Bulls because the Bulls had him do nothing. They said, just go stand over there. Maybe you'll get a shot every once in a while. As we see now with the Jazz, if he moves around, touches the ball in different places, he gets buckets. Billy Donovan, I don't think, knows how to coach big guys, because look at, when Westbrook won the MVP, it was Billy Donovan as coach saying, just go do everything out there. And that's what it is. It's just go do everything out there. DeRozan, go do everything out there. Zach LaVine, they had nice games, 28 and 25. But there's no cohesiveness there. The Bulls look their best when the ball is moving and they're getting baskets inside. So disappointing. But I'm keeping my eyes on Billy Donovan and seeing if he's going to make some sort of a change going forward.
Yeah, it is interesting that Patrick Williams sticking in that starting lineup.
He's a bust, man.
There's
sorry.
He
has 0 motor. He doesn't play hard enough for the NBA.
Yeah.
There's a lot of 5-point games you see from him. Yeah.
He just stands in the corner. He's a Markkanen as well.
Yeah, I see the possessions.
If you're taller than 6'6", Billy Donovan just wants you to stand outside.
Yeah.
Those guys usually are closer to that.
It's the opposite.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah, I was weirded out when I saw all those marked spots in spring training. Spring training. I love calling it spring. Yeah, let's talk baseball. In training.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, baby. It's spring training. Nikola Vucevic right in the pie. That's where he should be. No, he's the first baseman. Lonzo Ball and Alex Caruso. Turn the DP.
What were you going to say?
Anyway, remember in training camp, they had all the 5 spots for where the guys were supposed to stand on the offensive end in training camp were outside the 3-point line. They had they had boxes taped.
The
outside.
Bulls did that
Yeah.
too? I remember the Bucks did that, I thought.
No, it was the Bulls.
Oh, okay.
Vooch, don't touch the paint, dude. Just stand out there. And Patrick Williams, I every time I see Patrick Williams drive to the hoop, I'm surprised. Like, oh, this guy can do that. Mm-hmm. But, there's seems to be a motor problem, something problem. But Billy's supposed to be good with the young players. Like, he has done a good job with Io, but he's not really doing anything with Patrick Williams. Or, the Vooch
Maybe
thing.
nobody can do anything with Patrick Williams is what Trey's saying.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
it's possible, too.
That's fair.
Yeah.
The Vooch thing is even weirder to me because he was an all-star a couple years ago. Now he's not anywhere close to
A lot of shots to be had in Orlando.
Yeah,
that's
right.
true.
But he was efficient. He could make them back then as well.
Yeah.
So who knows?
And like I said, Anthony Edwards, 35 last night, and Karl Anthony Towns, 30. Look, they're playing the Magic. That's always good for your chances to get a W, but a dominant victory here from this squad. Even at our pickup run last night, we know the one Magic fan in Atlanta, B. Rose. And he was like checking his phone during a break in one of the games, like, damn it. The Wolves decided to play hard tonight. They're killing us. I'm like, oh. And I guess they had 74 points at the half. So they came out of the gate hot in Orlando. Sorry to be
And they were
Rose.
moving the ball.
Yeah.
They had 28 assists, too. That was a different Wolves team there for a game.
Nice birthday present for Karl Anthony Towns.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
I watched that Rockets game. They had 19 blocks.
Yeah, that is rare.
Crazy,
Very
man.
rare.
KJ Martin is one of the most watchable guys in the league right now. He had multiple highlight blocks last night, and he caught an alley-oop and then intentionally kneed Dwight Powell in the face while hanging on the rim. I don't think I've ever seen that before. He got called for a flagrant foul, but like an intentional knee while hanging on the rim. Only the son of Kenyon Martin would think to do that.
Yes.
Plays so much like Kenyon Martin, just a little bit smaller.
And I think it was Ghostface Ziller. He said KJ Martin must have one of the highest highlights per minute rates in the league.
Definitely.
Which is totally true. It's like every night this guy plays, he's got 2 or 3 big dunks or big blocks or just unbelievable plays in the top 10. So fun watch. Good win there from the Rockets. We're going to take our final break. When we come back, pick up results and tweet of the night.
Oh, Shopify, my old friend. I mean, really, our old friend. We used to have a Shopify store before getting with our new t-shirt retailer, who's actually our friend. It's time to knock out that new business idea out of the park with Shopify, just like your boys. Shopify is the all-in-one commerce platform to start, run, and grow your business. It does it all. You don't need to worry about a thing. Shopify makes it simple to sell to anyone from anywhere. Whether you're selling warm-ups or wall hangers, it's time to start selling with Shopify and join the platform simplifying commerce for millions of businesses worldwide. With Shopify, you'll customize your online store to discover new customers. Shopify fields all the sales channels to grow a winning business, from an in-person POS system, I didn't know that, to even across social platforms like TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. And thanks to 24/7 support and free on-demand business courses, yes, courses too, you can learn with Shopify. Shopify is on your team every step of the way. It's how every minute new sellers around the world score their first sale with Shopify, and you can too. We used it for No Dunks, and it was simple, but also pretty comprehensive. When you're ready to take your winning idea to the world, team up with Shopify, the commerce platform powering millions of businesses down the street and around the globe. Try out Shopify for free today and start selling everywhere. This is possibility, powered by Shopify. How do we feel about that English? Getting back to our sweet
dreams are made of this possibility.
Yeah, exactly.
Sort of works.
I guess. Shopify. Sign up for a free trial at shopify.com/nodunks. All lowercase. Go to shopify.com/nodunks to start selling online today. Shopify.com/nodunks.
This classic episode of No Dunks is brought to you by BetterHelp. I've had some coffee maker problems the past couple of days. Not sure what's going on, but we got grounds where there shouldn't be grounds. Way too much steam and not nearly enough coffee. Been trying to clean out the insides as best we can, but I haven't been able to crack the code, and unfortunately, we don't have the user manual anymore, so I can't just look up the right way to get this thing back on track. Kind of like life. Because unfortunately, life doesn't come with a user manual. When it's not working for you, it's normal to feel stuck, and navigating any of life's changes can make you feel unsure, but therapists are trained to help you figure out the cause of challenging emotions and learn productive coping skills. As the world's largest therapy service, BetterHelp has matched 3 million people with professionally licensed and vetted therapists available 100% online. Plus, it's quite affordable. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to match with a therapist. If things aren't clicking, you can easily switch to a new therapist anytime. It couldn't be simpler. No waiting rooms, no traffic, no endless searching for the right therapist. Learn more and save 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/nodunks. That's betterhelp.com/nodunks.
All right, back here in the Classic Factory. I'm laughing because we just had a good 2 or 3 minute breakdown of our pickup runs last night. Not really anything to share with you. Cass was asking.
Private.
Well, we played with a guy who looked like Rodney Hood.
Yeah.
And who told us everybody keeps saying he looks like Rodney Hood. He does, and he's a lefty, so he's got that too. And then a guy that has the face of Tristan Thompson. Just the face. Yeah, it was a fun run last night. For me, I was on a good team. We were winning a lot of games.
You stacked them up 4 straight to start the night, and then you left right away.
That's right. I lost my 5th game, and I was like, I'm out of here. I got an hour and a half run, and I'm good. All right, pick 'em results last night. Warriors-Suns. Suns were the favorites at home by 1.5 points, so it was basically a pick 'em. I took the Warriors, so did Trey, and we knew it. We said, I don't know about this one. Tass took the Suns. You got it right, Tassy. You're 3-8. I'm 8-3. Trey 6-5. Tonight's game.
Quiet night in the association. 3 games.
Oh wow. Oh.
Yeah. Spurs visiting the Sacramento Kings.
Oh, like the beam.
Light the beam. The line is big. The line is saying the beam will be lit because it's a 7.5 point spread. The Sacramento Kings are 7.5 point favorites. So Trey and I think that the Spurs can lose by 7. And you got the Kings to win by 8 or more.
Are you kidding me? Kings by 17.5 tonight. This team, the vibes are great right now.
7 of 9.
In Sacramento. Maybe they got the big novelty light switch now instead of that dumb button. Who knows? I was giving them suggestions on Twitter. They responded. So,
the Twitter account?
Yes.
Love it.
Yes, the Kings did, yes.
I like that. I like when a team's Twitter account engages.
Makes you feel special, doesn't it?
Oh, God, yeah.
I love seeing that they follow you. I love seeing that the NBA Twitter account follows me. It's like respect.
Yeah.
Thank you, NBA.
Yeah. The Kings, they want this is the peak Kings right now. In the Twitter era, this is the best that their Twitter account operator has ever felt.
Wow, is that true?
Yeah. Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah, they've been going for like...
I feel like they get a ton of Twitter respect, though.
They do.
I think they're
very
known
funny
as one of the
account.
better Twitter accounts.
Yeah. They have been.
But they got the beam now. The beam does take it to the next level.
Beam team, baby.
Beam team, baby. I'm hoping for a beam and a Spurs cover. I honestly only picked the Spurs so that we could have a different graphic.
Yeah,
like, we've had
change
the
it up.
same. We've been on the same flows.
Yeah, man, but it was
for like a
working.
whole, I know it was working until last night. I was like, we gotta change it up.
It's like this beam that we think is just one beam. It's actually 4 lasers.
It's actually 4
You gotta be
beams.
the other laser to me, and you gotta get on board. And Jerome and JD, we are a beam together. This is like a metaphor for
Voltron.
life.
We are a beam
Voltron,
together.
yeah. Hell yeah. It's 4 beams, eh? Isn't that crazy? What happens when one of the beams go out, like the Winter Olympics in Vancouver, when the old stick wouldn't go up or that little part of the cauldron wouldn't go up? Whose fault was that? Steve Nash, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was it Gretzky or Nash?
Steve Nash was standing on it.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
You don't remember?
I don't
I
remember.
thought you loved the Olympics.
I do.
You like the summer.
The opening ceremonies, I mean, whoa, you're watching the whole thing? What's going on?
I watch them back.
You watch them twice?
Yeah. All right.
Love
it. Tweet of the night. Let's do it.
Tweet of the night. Wow.
Twitter.
Quickly before we get to tweet of the night, what I was doing while you guys were talking about your basketball runs, you guys were talking about KJ Martin, highlight factory, probably the highest highlight per minute man in the NBA.
Yeah.
I thought of KJ McDaniels. I went back to watch him. You remember KJ McDaniels?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
He was a highlight per minute guy, but now he's gone. Just gone. Anyways, it was fun. While you guys were talking, it was great.
Well, you were talking to us.
I can multitask.
Oh, you're tax time.
Yeah. Anyways.
Task time.
Yeah, we're all good at looking at our computer and still having a conversation.
Yeah, there you go.
We mastered it.
Yeah.
I'm watching the opening ceremonies from
let me see that.
every Olympic.
Oh, yeah.
Remember this part?
Oh, the call. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just complete failure.
Oh, the cauldron just fell. Everything's on fire.
Oh, man. You imagine you were the director of that opening ceremonies. What would you be doing? You'd be freaking out.
Don't worry, we have another 5 hours to fill. No, but what happened?
I'm saying they planned for that for like 10, 12 years.
Yeah.
And then this one part, a mechanical breakdown. Maybe the weather. It was cold, I think, wasn't it? It was raining.
Winter Olympics.
It was raining in Vancouver, I believe. And that doesn't happen.
What?
It doesn't go up.
It's raining in Vancouver?
Yeah. And,
How could we have prepared for this?
What would you do? Would you run out, try and pick it up? Think about it. You got to think these things through.
Pick it up, just like
Walking up like a ladder.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I do with my ladder. Cool.
Did City High perform? What would you do?
Oh my god.
I was thinking the same thing, but I didn't know it was City Hall.
What would you do if
I
you
did
come
that.
in
I
lift?
took some. I took some tax time in Google. I had no idea.
All right, tweet. What do you got?
Oh yeah, we got a tweet. Bleacher Report published an interview with Kevin Durant where he explained why he made a trade request this summer and that he's happy with the team. This one quote got a lot of media attention.
Yeah.
He said, "Look at our starting lineup: Edmund Sumner, Royce O'Neal, Joe Harris, Claxton, and me. It's not disrespect, but what are you expecting from that group?" Now, he got a lot of flack because he called everybody out and said, "Hey, we're not going to be that good."
Well, yeah, because also within, was it that article or another KD article, this talk about leadership and maybe the lack of leadership that he's shown, I guess, with the Nets or over his career, and then you pair it with this quote, which sort of illustrates maybe not the greatest leadership,
yes,
but a lot of truth bombs in that maybe as well.
Yes,
Not the greatest roster in the world.
Yeah, so he said,
anyway.
the guys starting beside me: Edmund Sumner,
full name,
Royce O'Neal,
That
Joe
is the
Harris.
weirdest part.
Yes, and that brings us to tweet of the night from Dragonfly Jones when he said that KD quote gets funnier and funnier. Homie really rolled out their full ass government names. It wasn't like Royce and Joe and them. Bro was like Nick of House Claxton, first of his name. Can't get it done with him. Well done. Dragonfly Jones, who keeps getting tweet of the night.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great follow. That tweet, I'm so happy. I didn't know you were picking that tweet. After my team finally lost at the pickup run last night, I'm over on my phone, getting ready to go, firing up Twitter, let's check some scores, see that tweet, and I had to tell everybody that was on the bench with me, listen to this tweet. I did an in-person tweet of the night, because I was laughing my ass off. I thought it was very funny. Him catching Dragonfly Jones, the point that he says all their full names, or most of their full names, and then, the government names made me laugh, and then the House of Dragons, like Game of Thrones part. Yeah, they're very, very funny, and hey, it did just as well as it did here in Tweet of the Night. On the bench, on the side. People are like, damn, that's a good tweet. Great tweet, man. That wasn't mine.
Send us
just
a
reading
Slack.
Yeah, why didn't you share it in Slack?
I don't know, honestly. I had to get in the car, drive home.
We knew you knew.
Yeah, I saw it.
I was great pick,
I
man.
engaged with that. He's
Were you
right
upset?
up in my feed, which is great. The Twitter algorithm is really weird right now. I'm getting a lot of Bob Muscala tweets.
Oh, stop saying Bob Muscala on this show. Second day in a row.
I know. Well, yeah, that's the problem. I say it, and then somehow my Twitter algorithm just puts him to the top.
Mute him.
Well, I don't need to mute Bob. I need to figure out the Twitter algorithm.
Bob Muscala.
Bob packed it.
First of his name.
Bob
I
hacked
guess Mike would be second of his name.
What do you mean second?
I don't know. I'm trying to House of Dragon it up.
Yeah. So what do you mean? Don't you know the lineage of the Muscalas? Anyway, that's a basketball
their
player and his
sigil?
dad.
Well, it'd be it's like
sigil?
Batherin, or not Batherin.
Moose. A moose.
Yeah,
Oh, a moose.
It's Moose. It's like the stag.
Baratheon.
Baratheon. Thank you. Batherin.
Matherin, the Bathians.
Matherin and Batherin.
I wish I didn't know that Bob Muscala's Twitter handle is Musky Bob, but I've got it committed to memory. Why do I know that?
Damn it. It's my fault.
Okay, let's.
He's got some good tweets. OKC 5-0 with Andrew Wiggins in the starting lineup. Not Andrew, Aaron Wiggins, second of his name.
Yeah.
That's a good tweet, Bob Muscala.
He said that part, the second of his name?
I did.
Oh, that'd be really good. You should tweet it.
I should. Okay.
That's it for today's show. Having a blast here in the Classic Factory. Thank you to the stream team for joining us live. Hit the like button. Subscribe to No Dunks on YouTube. Check out our No Buffs podcast later today, recapping episode 9 of Survivor. Best episode of the season. Probably the biggest move of the season. We'll break it all down right here at 1 p.m. Eastern. No Buffs has its own YouTube feed, its own podcast feed, so listen to that if you're a Survivor fan. And then, this also has its own feed. Is This Good? Probably going up later tonight with special guest Matt Bonner.
We're laughing at the photos here.
Yeah, we're laughing at the graphic for this. Okay, let's talk this through. I assume the topics will be maybe letting your kid beat you at sports?
Is this good getting crossed up by your son?
Yeah, like
who's half as
either
tall as
kicking
you?
your kid's ass at sports
Kid looks
or
like
getting
he's got
beat by
game.
it. Yeah, he does. That looks like a tight crossover. What's this next one? Ex-girlfriend,
I
happy
believe
birthday.
it's wishing your ex happy birthday.
Wow, that's specific. Okay. And then finally backing into a parking spot.
That one's gonna be a hot
Oh,
topic.
that's gonna. I already know Mattio's thoughts on that. Can't wait to find out. Matt Bonner's, yes, special guest Matt Bonner, 2-time NBA champ, the Red Rocket. What did he drive? What did Matt Bonner drive when he got done taking the?
He drove the TTC.
No, but then he had
No, he didn't drive the
Ford,
He rode public transportation.
He
but
had
then
a
he
piece of
car.
crap car, like just a generic car.
A Chevy
A Taurus?
Impala.
Oh, Impala. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was a Ford Taurus.
This is as of 2013. Great year to get an Impala.
Okay. That's not as bad.
Yeah, new body model.
All right. Did he ever back it into parking spots? We're gonna find out later today on Is This Good? Okay. Otherwise, we'll see you guys tomorrow here at the Classic Factory live at 10 a.m. Eastern for the Drop podcast. I think we're going to do some 1 month in awards and talking about some of the teams disappointing players and all that. So we'll have a blast on the Drop. Till then, Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us. And remember, when you're trying to steady your shot, you're trying to figure it out. The acronym you got to think about is
Balance. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what's it stand for?
We always said balance, elbow, eyes, follow through.
Oh, yes. We did eyes first.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I guess that makes more sense.
Yeah,
Well, you did
same
it.
beef.
You did it for when you were a kid. I don't
Yeah.
remember that.
I feel like there's like a tweaked version.
There
too.
is a new one, I
Yeah.
think.
But I don't know it. You
Let
want
us
some
know.
tax time?
Yeah, let me a little tax time here. I'll know it for Friday.
All right.
Yeah, take some
I
time.
don't know. I bet we got some high school basketball coaches out here listening. What do you teach your kids? What acronym you use to teach your kids how to shoot a jump shot?
Let us know.
Is it beef?
Brace the day, people.